Hi, my name is Angela Breidenbach. I am the Christian Authors Network president, and I am so excited to bring to you the CAN Board and the CAN Crown Awards with our finalists, and they're all waiting just very patiently for us to be able to tell you a little bit about CAN and then get to whether or not they won the award. So I'm going to turn it over real quick to each of our officers so that you can learn a little bit about the Christian Authors Network and why we do these CAN Crown Awards, and why, if you are a professional author, traditionally published with at least one book, and you can have a second book that can be either traditionally published or self-published. You must have two books to be able to join. But you can join the CAN Crown Awards without being a member. And we are so lucky to have a mix of that here today. Susan, would you share with us a little bit about your area in the Christian Authors Network?
You bet. Hi, everybody. Welcome. This is an exciting night. It's so exciting. I am the vice president of CAN, and I oversee the newsletters. We have two newsletters. One is for readers and retailers, and in that we feature new releases and news and events and awards and all kinds of good stuff. Goes out to about 1,600 people every month. And you'll get notifications through CAN groups.io to send me your stuff. We're also having starting retailers new releases newsletter, which will talk about the new releases for 2021. So January, we're gonna have our next one, and that's going to cover anything within that year. So if you have an upcoming release, you'll get a notification again to send it to me, and we'll get that out to retailers. So that's a great way to market your stuff through CAN, and I just love connecting with people and stuff. So there you go.
Thank you. And I'd like to introduce to y'all Karen Whiting. She is our CAN treasurer. And Karen, why don't you tell a little bit about what you do in CAN?
One of the things I do is I coordinate what we're doing with MTL, which is More to Life magazine. We do several things there. There's an MTL newsletter where our members put up tips. So the latest ones have been from Onetta O'Hare on things on holiday, tips for holiday eating, and Kathy Howard tips on Bible study teaching. We also write for the MTL blog, and some recent ones have been Diane Barker, 7 Steps to Refresh a Stale Marriage. Sherry Kyle, God is Bigger, and Diane Neal Matthews, The Color of Love. And then we write for their online magazine, MTL Magazine. Again, that's More to Life. So the latest ones in there have been When Grandma or Grandpa Forgets by Crystal Bowman, Get an Attitude of Gratitude by Michelle Medlock Adams, and The Power of Respect by Karen Whiting. And those can be found at mtlmagazine.com.
Thank you. And I'd like to ask Vickie McDonough to come on and tell us a little bit about what you do and help us with in CAN.
Hi, everybody. I oversee the CAN Pinterest boards, and we have over 30 boards that you can participate on. And did you know that there were over 335 million users last year on Pinterest? And currently there are 70 million each month. These are people looking for things to buy. They're shopping on Pinterest, and you need to have your books on there. Pinterest had over $1 billion in sales last year. And we're going to soon have Tricia Goyer come and speak to CAN about how authors can use CAN to market their books. So I have posted an email on the CAN Loop about how you can get on the Pinterest boards. So you can either contact me or Jean Dennis, and we'll get you hooked up.
Thank you. And Tina, please share a little bit about your job in CAN.
I'm the board secretary. So what I oversee is the CAN blog. And we actually have blog posts that can go up 7 days a week with all kinds of wonderful themes that you could write for, or if you happen to be a librarian or retailer, you can check into these for just articles that'll be uplifting and inspiring for you as well. We have Sunday worship, Monday musings, which include devotionals. We have Tuesday new releases, Wednesday in the news or events that you might be attending or going to. We have Thursday author interviews. We also have fascinating Fridays on Friday and book reviews on Saturday. So make sure that you check out your opportunities to be inspired or to inspire others through the CAN blog.
Thank you so much. Linda Kozar, will you share a bit about what you do?
Yes, among other things I do, as the PR director, I manage the Instagram and Twitter. Well, not all of Twitter, we all post there, but Instagram primarily. And for CAN members, it's a place to showcase their books. We generally feature one author a week, but possibly two. We start off with a headshot of the author and our CAN logo, and then post one book every day, up to 4 to 6 books, and then move on to another author, because we have to get around to a lot of authors. CAN is big, and we want to represent everyone. We also add links and hashtags so that people from all over can connect and maybe follow those links to buy books. So we're all about marketing. So we sometimes feature 2 authors a week. If they have at least 2 books, we can feature 2 authors a week. But mostly we stick to 1 a week, because some of us have a gazillion books out there. And this method has gained us not only a steady following, but also steady people following us every day. So less than a year ago, we had almost nobody, and now we're really, really growing. I believe that book covers are a better thing to post than memes. And the thing I deal with mostly that is difficult is the fact that the picture quality in memes or book covers isn't that good. I need to have 300 DPI. Thank you. At the same time we post to Instagram, I also cross post to Twitter with about 3 or 4 books and the author's headshot, so that we can have their books on Twitter and just leave it there, all week. So anyway, we're out there for you guys, and we're trying to feature everybody and get everybody noticed. That's what CAN's about.
Thank you so much. And Aaron, Zook is our final officer before we do our awards. And just real quick, we have had a problem with connecting with Facebook yet again. And so we are recording. We will show this live. We'll show this live recording after the event. And hopefully that'll be just about an hour, and all your friends and family can watch with you. We're so sorry for the delay. All right, Aaron, share with us what you do.
Hi, I'm the newest board member, and I am learning and growing in what I do and responsibilities as a board member. The first project that I've started is to connect with an Australian bookstore. It's called the Abundant Life Christian Bookstore in Queensland, Australia. And while I'm connecting with them, I'm collecting books and putting everything together by the 15th of the month so that I can send them overseas to Australia. It'll be a promotion for the authors that get their books in the box, as well as CAN. We'll be sending promotional material for CAN as well. And that'll increase our outreach in the international realm. I'm also going to be connecting through Karen Whiting with a person named Christy Dobbins, who works with the Muntz Group. The Muntz Group is a group that's set up to do full service marketing. And it offers numerous marketing programs and services to independent retail stores. They hold 2 Christian product expos every year, and I'll be attending the next one with Karen Whiting and some other folks. And we'll be working with them and spreading the news about CAN and the authors that CAN has, and trying to make sure that everybody gets a good promotion opportunity at those events. And that's where I'm at right now. And I'm learning and growing, as I said, so I'm sure I'll have more report next week when it comes.
Well, that is awesome. Thank you so much, everybody. We're going to take a quick short break because we have figured out that we will be able to post the Zoom invitation and people will be able to join us here on Zoom. And then we will continue on with our awards. And so bear with us.
And while you're doing that, let's just mention to people, if you have entered the contest and you have a traditionally published book and at least 2 books, we'd love to have you apply to become a member of Christian Authors Network, where we do a lot of marketing for one another because it's a cooperative organization. And as you can see, we have a lot of connections and things that we do because we partner within the industry as well as partnering with one another.
And would one of the other officers like to share with everybody, how do you join CAN?
Susan, do you want to do that or do you want me to?
Yeah, go for it.
We have a simple application process. So if you just go to our website, you can look for how to apply and that will kick off getting you an application, or you can contact any of the officers and we will send you one. The application fee right now, because of COVID, we normally have a $50 registration. That's being waived because we know that's been a hard time for authors, especially authors who speak. And then there is annual dues, but we prorate that during the year. So if you're paying right now, it's less than if you paid in June, the beginning of our fiscal year. So it's the biggest thing is to have one traditional royalty publishing house for one of your books and at least 2 books. So we would love to have you consider joining us, anyone who's in our audience, as well as those who have entered the contest but were not members. And we're always happy to have everyone who wants to enter the contest.
All right, we have been able to post the Zoom link for people on Facebook. So if you have a phone or anything handy that you can let people know, they can go right over to the Christian Authors Network page and they will be able to join us as we start. So thank you for your patience with that. There's always something technical going on and we've got it solved. And if they do miss the show, no problem. We will post the recording. All right. So, Karen, can you do a drum roll for us, please?
Sure.
And Tina?
The winner is?
In our outstanding broadcasting campaign. Now, these broadcasting campaigns are really important and they have to do with television, radio, podcast, those kinds of ways of sharing your marketing. Our bronze, oh, I'm sorry, we need to do our finalists list. So sorry. Our finalist list in outstanding broadcasting campaign is Dr. Craig von Buseck for his book, I Am Cyrus. Bethany Jett and Michelle Medlock Adams for their brand, Platinum Faith. And Susan Neal for her book series, Healthy Living Series. For outstanding web presence, our finalists are Cynthia L Simmons for her brand, Cynthia L Simmons, and Carla Hoch for her brand, FightRight.net. And our finalists in the Outstanding Visual Media Campaign, which I will tell you was the hottest category of the contest. It is Outstanding Visual Media, Annette Marie Griffin for her book, What is a Family? Julie Lavender for her book, 365 Ways to Love Your Child. Janice Thompson for her book launch, Just Roll With It. Lynn Austin for her team's book launch of If I Were You. Lane Craft for her book, Enjoy Today, Own Tomorrow. Andrew Huff for his book, Across to Kill. And Michelle Medlock Adams and Bethany Jett for their book, They Call Me Mom. Wow, if your head's not spinning, mine is. That was a lot of entrants and a lot of really great campaigns. And we had quite a few judges. We had a total of 11 judges. And many of these judges had to judge 2, 3, 4 different entries because we kept getting ties. And eventually we decided that we were going to go ahead and award the tie. And I know to me, it was really hard because there's 100 points in this contest. And how in the world do these people keep tying? So that was really, really hard. But it's because they were so worthy. And I think when you're going to see how this plays out and hear what these authors have to say about their books and their campaigns, you're going to see why they were so hard to choose between. And in the outstanding web presence, this category, by the way, is about your website and how you present yourself and your brand on your website. And the outstanding visual media campaign is how do you do memes and how do you do social media and how do you present yourself across the board visually. And so these were some really tough categories. All right. Let's go back to the drum roll per category. Drum roll for outstanding broadcasting campaign. And Tina?
And the winner is?
Woohoo! We're starting with the bronze. Okay, our bronze outstanding broadcasting campaign, get ready to give us a 3-minute talk, is Dr. Craig von Buseck for his book, I Am Cyrus. Woohoo! Yay! Congratulations. Craig, would you tell us a little bit about what you did in your campaign and a little bit about your book, I Am Cyrus?
Well, thank you so much. I am honored to be chosen for this honor and this award. I Am Cyrus is a story of the rebirth of Israel. A lot of people begin with 1948 with the birth of Israel, and that is important, but there was so much that took place before that, beginning in the 1880s and moving forward with the Zionist movement. And I felt like I had 2 goals in writing the book. One was to be able to defend the rebirth of Israel if I had to before the Supreme Court. So there are more than 1,200 endnotes in the book. But then on the other side, to write something that is readable for those who may not read all the time. And so I tried to marry the two. As far as promoting the book, over the years, I've continued to compile an Excel form of all the different contacts that I've made. And so whenever I do an interview, whenever I am seeing someone else doing an interview for a particular place, and I think that that would be a good fit, I put it into that Excel form under different tabs, whether it be radio or television or web or print or whatever. And I keep track of those things. And so depending on the topic of the book, I then do an outreach to those people to determine what would be a good way to do that. So for I Am Cyrus, I was able to be on the 700 Club. I was able to be on the Eric Metaxas show. I was able to be on Dr. Brown's radio program. I was able to do some regional television as well. And then also a lot of radio and a lot of web radio. So this is a wonderful honor, and I thank you so much for the privilege.
Thank you for being with us. Dr. Craig von Buseck and his book, I Am Cyrus, take the bronze for Outstanding Broadcasting Campaign. Woohoo! And what will happen, folks, is that I have trophies and award certificates that will go out on Monday, and they will be mailed to you. And then Linda Kozar and the rest of our board will be sending out press releases for you. And we'll send a copy to you, and you'll be able to send that out to your local and national contacts to be able to get some more bang for the buck for entering our contest. And then on top of that, we will assign interview dates for you for our CAN blog. We'll share that out over the social media. And so as you see, winning a bronze is enough to get you quite a bit from the Christian Authors Network. But that's not all. We'll tell you more as we go through the awards. And our silver award winner, this is...
And the winner is?
Woohoo! Bethany Jett and Michelle Medlock Adams for their brand, Platinum Faith. Yay! Now, we understand that Michelle Medlock Adams is a little under the weather. And so she is having her partner, Bethany, share with us about their winning campaign. And they will be getting a dual certificate. So Bethany will get a certificate that shows Platinum Faith brand and her name on top. And Michelle will be getting a certificate that shows Michelle's name on top, because they're both winners and we want them both to feel like winners. So Bethany, would you go ahead and take it away and give us about 3 to 4 minutes on a little bit about your book, and then share about why you think this campaign had some great successful points in it.
Yes, thank you. So this book was, this one was for Platinum Faith, which is so hard to see. But in the book, we take 12 characteristics of the metal platinum and then apply them to our faith journey. And so it was a super fun book to write. But this campaign was also really fun because we wanted to dive into the different types of media, ones we could control, but then the ones that we couldn't control as well. So we held an online summit where we had different speakers come on and we interviewed them. We were also doing radio interviews, both of us, different media and TV interviews as well. Michelle was able to get on with Sirius XM with Victoria Osteen's radio show, which was amazing. And then I was able to get on with Woman to Woman Premier Christian Radio to promote this book, and it's the largest Christian radio station in the United Kingdom. So we had just some really great success with some pretty big radio opportunities, which was fantastic. But we wanted to continue to build upon that original summit. So the marketing tip that I have to share is to have an idea, see how it works, and then evaluate, and then do it again. And so we continue to promote Platinum Faith by interviewing more women even after that original summit, so that we could just continue to grow the brand, but then also let them have videos they could go back and watch if they missed the original summit with it too. And we'll just continue to do this over and over and over and take the best parts out of it and pivot when needed. So that's sort of our marketing tip for this. But thank you. It's an honor to be a finalist in this competition.
Well, we're very excited to have you. And so now what Craig said was that he kept a spreadsheet going. How did you keep your contact list going?
So Michelle and I work very well together, but we often joke that one of us needs to keep track of all of the things, be the keeper of that, and that's me. I live for spreadsheets and she hates them. So we both were in charge of our own interviews and making sure we had that on track, but lots of emails back and forth. And then Google Drive has been a wonderful place. So any kind of cloud storage, especially when you're working with a partner, to make sure everything is in a place where you can both get it whenever you need to. So I'm all for the spreadsheets. Craig, I did something very similar to that too.
Thank you so much. And now the winner.
And the winner is?
The gold and the trophy. And I have to pull this one out because unfortunately they won't show on camera as well, but they're clear. And I'm going to take my background off. Y'all know we're already in the beautiful Can Crown Gala. So I'm going to take my background off because I want to make sure that you guys can all see this gorgeous clear trophy that Susan Neal, Outstanding Broadcasting, for branding for her Healthy Living book series. Can you see the trophy? Congratulations, Susan. And now you get 5 minutes to tell us about your book series, but give us most of the focus on why your marketing campaign won the Outstanding Broadcasting Gold Medal.
And don't forget to unmute yourself.
Thank you so much. I'm
There
so
she is.
thrilled and honored to receive this award. And last year I was in 3rd place. And so the one thing I want to tell you is just keep trying, just keep going, just keep marketing. And you just don't know when you're going to win 1st place like this, but all of us just need to keep trying. So anyway, my Healthy Living series includes my #1 Amazon bestseller, 7 Steps to Get Off Sugar and Carbohydrates. And how it became #1 is I expanded my Amazon categories. So investigate that. It also includes the Christian Study Guide that corresponds with that book and the Healthy Living Journal. These books are written from a Christian perspective to help all of us to improve our health and our optimal weight so that we can serve God to the best of our ability. Now, my marketing campaign, what I did is of course, whatever you do, you want to measure it. So I kept on a spreadsheet. I looked at how many book sales I would have, how many website hits I would have with whatever I would do. And for the broadcasting, I chose to be interviewed on lots of different podcasts. So I had over 25 podcast interviews in the first 8 months of this year. I tried to schedule 1 a week. And it was really fun. You get to meet the host. And I felt as though I would get before more audiences if I was on different people's podcasts versus creating my own, because both are a lot of work, but that is what I chose to do. And another thing to do is create marketing goals. We want to have goals. What do we plan to do? Like every month, it would be great to be on a podcast interview. How about 1 magazine article? And how about 1 guest blog post? And I go over that in my Serious Writer Academy course called How to Sell 1,000 Books in 3 months. So you come out of there and you have your 6-month marketing plan of what you need to do. And the culmination of all of this ended up that I've sold over 5,000 books in the first 8 months of this year. So it's just blessed, and everybody, we just got to keep doing it. Thank you. Thank you. I'm honored and thrilled. And one more great thing is that when you need to also keep your blog posts up. So every month, every week, write a blog post, keep your blogs going, and connect your Pinterest pins. Get gorgeous Pinterest pins and have them go from your blog to Pinterest. And that brought my website traffic from 500 up to 500 a month a year ago to 5,000 a month now.
Wow, that is amazing. What I've heard out of all 3 of these broadcasting campaign winners has been spreadsheets, consistency, setting goals, and keeping track of anybody you meet along the way in media. I think that is fabulous tips and advice. All right. Are you guys ready for the Outstanding Web Presence category? Let's have our drum roll.
And the winner
is, in our silver position, Cynthia L Simmons for her brand, Cynthia L Simmons, and her website. Now, I encourage all of you to go check out her new website. This gal has worked hard to change the branding on her website to make it more usable, to better reflect what she has done with it. She has a radio show, she has a women's ministry, and it's all right there in a spectacular brand. Cynthia, you've got about 4 minutes. Take it away and tell us a little bit about what you've done to really revamp and relaunch your brand.
Well, thank you. I appreciate this honor. I'm very humbled by it because I feel like marketing has been my Waterloo. I've had a terrible time getting my feet on the ground. But one thing that I learned was that I needed to have someone come along beside me. So I have got a person that comes along beside me and we talk over what our goals might be. And she has been a really big help. To know how to pull it all together and to make it look good. And in fact, at one point I love purple and blue. And she said, I think you've got a little too much purple. Let's tone it down a little bit. So here's some things that I've learned, that when your web presence is really like a store, and you need to think of it as someone walking into your store as a customer and they say, oh, what do you have to offer me? Rather than being about me, what do you have to offer me? And so I'm always now thinking about what am I doing? What do people need? Where is the need? How can I meet it? And so I have a little pop-up up there that if somebody needs to sign up for my email list, it's right there. And I put up a better bio. And I give away an other-centered challenge every month that I encourage people to here's something you can work on this month to get better. Of course, I do my weekly podcast, and then I have a funnel that draws people in so that once they sign up, there's an opportunity for them to sign up for even more that they can pay for. And so I'm continually expanding what I'm doing. We were just talking yesterday to this friend of mine that I've hired, and she said, well, now that you're expanding, we need to start putting up something about your awards and also putting up something more about how you're doing a lot of history. So I think the thing for me has been having people to come alongside and say, like Bethany Jett did, and say, you can have goals and evaluate your goals and then come back and see how you did and start over again. If you didn't do as well as you want, start over again and keep trying. So thank you so much for giving me this award.
Yes. Did we lose Angie?
Wow.
No, she's just
No,
muted.
she's there. She's
Sorry.
Okay.
I got kicked out there for a minute and I came back in, and luckily everything was still going fine. But what I was saying was I saw your before and your after, Cynthia, and I'm just so impressed. And it was really fun to share that with the judges and see what those scores came back. It was really fun. And by the way, I don't know if we told you all, but you are all going to get your score sheets. This is a contest worth entering because you get the score sheets and the comments from the judges. And so to me, that is a really valuable reason for entering. And one question you'll want to pay attention to, most of you got this, got a little response on it, was the judges were asked to tell you what their comments were on every area, but also to tell you if they thought of something that would help you continue to expand your campaign. So you'll be getting that on your score sheets as well. All right. Now, who gets the gold? Are you ready?
And the winner is
Carla Hoch for her brand, fightright.net. And I want to show you her trophy and drop everything on my desk as I do it. There we go. Now, what you probably don't realize is that these are clear. And so, obviously you can't see it unless I hold it up with something behind it. We figured that out. But Carla will be putting this in the mail to you along with your certificate and your score sheets. I am so excited for you because, like Cynthia, Carla had the same type of a situation where she was rebranding. And if you saw her before and after, you would be really impressed. And so I'm excited to give you 5 minutes. Please, Carla, tell us what it is that you did and why, and what do you think it's done for you?
Well, first, I'd like to thank CAN, I am really thankful and impressed. This is my second year being a member with CAN. The exposure they've given the Fight Right brand, I never expected to be this much. It wasn't just that they, helped with publicity about my brand, but they also promoted me as a person. And I was really, really impressed with that. And I am super nervous. If you are not familiar, I'm excited and happy. If you're not familiar with Fight Right, I teach writers how to write fight scenes, action and violence, and not just about the actual fight, but what happens after the fact. And I did my Fight Right website started out as a little free blogger blog. And so it's been going for 4 years, and stick with it. You can start out, living in an RV and move to a house eventually. What? I promise. Your site, I don't want to repeat any of the great advice that's already been given, but your site should be a one-stop shop for all of your work. I'm trying to get my fingers out into a lot of different places of social media. So if you want to go to my YouTube channel, if you want my podcast, all of that is reachable. But I think a really important thing is right smack in the middle of your webpage. It's a good idea to have 3 call out buttons, no more than 3. One of those, if you have a book, one of those buttons needs to be for your book. One of those should be a contact on how people can contact you. And then that third one is just, it's up to you, whatever you want it to be. And you want those buttons to go directly where you want people to go. If you ask people to click more than twice, they'll leave you. Statistically, that's what they say. So don't expect people to jump through hoops to get them to, if you want them to buy your book, and as soon as they click that button, sure, you can show them a page that has all the different options, but then don't make them have to click again. You might lose them. So don't do that. Encourage people to subscribe to your website. You can do that by giving them a freebie. When you subscribe to Fight Right, I give you a handy dandy little reference guide on the stages of bleeding out and stages of decomposition and adjectives that describe pain, and also a discount code for my classes with Writer's Digest University. Don't bug your subscribers. Thank them. Like I said, mine started out as a free blog. And when I started it out, people said blogs were dead. And that's okay, because as we have seen on TV, zombies are real. And so my blog as a zombie just kept going. But number one, I stuck with it because it was something I enjoyed. Number one, you have to make it a joy rather than a job. You're not going to stick with things that you hate. It's not going to be that's going to be wonderful every day. But, whatever marketing path you take, let it be something you enjoy so you'll stick with it. And then once you start it, tip number 2, you got to be patient. We live in a time where, you can take a picture of your cat with her face through a piece of bread and you'll get 1 million clicks on it, and you didn't make the cat or the bread. But, and as a writer, it's a little bit harder to draw people in, and that's okay. Just be patient, build it, they will come. You just have to go slow about it. You also, tip 3, you got to be willing. You got to put yourself out there. Linda Kozar has been I'm going to get back to her in a minute. She's been really great on helping me be willing. As a fighter, the most dangerous person in the room isn't the skilled or, it's not the biggest, the baddest, the strongest. It's the person who's willing. And you have to be willing to put yourself out there, to put yourself in front of a camera, no matter how uncomfortable it makes you. As writers, when you put something out, I've said it's like being in Central Park in a glass box naked. Everybody can see you, but you can't see them. You just feel so vulnerable. That's okay. And you're going to have people who criticize you. And that's just normal. When I am fighting, there's people who aren't just cheering for my opponent. They're actively cheering against me. They'll yell things like, "Oh, you're tired." And they're not wrong. I'm tired. Of course I'm tired. And that's okay. They're not on my team. They're not my teammates. And so when you have people that are trying or give you bad reviews on your book, or they criticize what you do, that's okay. They're not your teammates. They are not your readers. They're somebody else's. And so move along. Jesus loves you. Everybody else can eat an onion. Tip 4, go ahead and be ignorant. It's okay. You can't learn unless you admit that you need some knowledge. Find your deficits. That's why the score sheets for this, that having that is huge, because now we can pinpoint what we're doing wrong. And you've got to just soak that up. Surround yourself with people who know more than you, who are better at you at what you're trying to do. I am very blessed to have CAN member Linda Kozar on my side. She has been a huge blessing. I am like a cold sore on this gal. I'm telling you, even when she thinks I'm not there, I am there. And she's all, you need to have your person, like the last person just said, you've got to have a person that's going to step up and say, you're doing this right, you're doing this wrong. And so you have to reach out and ask people. Don't ever be intimidated by somebody's, I mean, I went up and asked Ted Decker questions. Who am I to ask him questions? I'm a human and he's a human. And you know what? He indulged me. I've yet to have one New York Times bestseller, and I've asked a bunch of questions to a bunch of them. Not one has said, I don't have time for you. Not even one. So go ahead and ask them questions and learn from them. I don't care. Nobody gets to the top of the ladder without climbing rungs. That's just how it is. And tip number 5, be a rung. There's nothing wrong with that. Support others, be gracious, promote people who promote you. Rungs are stronger than the people climbing. So don't think that helping somebody else downgrades you in any way. I mean, and ladders are very simple contraptions. They do everything but to get you on a bunk bed, to get you over a castle wall. So tip 6, be simple. Don't spend a ton of money right off the bat. If you're doing videos, get one ring light, or just use natural light through a window. Don't go get a package. You may start doing videos and realize, I hate this. And then so don't think you have to go spend a ton of money. Don't think you have to go hire people. I did not hire anybody to rehaul my website until I had been doing it 3 years. And Thomas Umstead said, girl, you got to get a grip and redo your site. I'm like, oh, okay. So start out with free accounts. PicMonkey and Canva, they will help you make little backdrops and memes. They have free things for you to try to see if that's what you want to do. Google Analytics, free. When people are coming to your site, so you know what days that you need to do stuff, because you think, okay, nobody is really coming on Fridays, but they're on there Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, which do happen to be the big days where people hit your blog. So go ahead and find when people are hitting it, see what's most popular on your site and push that. Go ahead and put links. Go ahead and just put yourself out there. And tip number 7, be kind to yourself. Don't walk around like a self-whack-a-mole. You can't do that. If you need to do a blog post or something and you're sick, okay. If you do a video and nobody watches it, okay, that's fine. When we stand before the Lord, he isn't going to ask us if we tweeted today. He doesn't care. So try to keep your focus and just be thankful every day that you have the opportunity to do what God gave you an ability to do. I mean, how blessed are we that we get to do that? So that's my speech.
That is fabulous. We really appreciate it. I want to ask you one question.
Yes.
I saw your score sheets and your entry. And my question is, what kind of numbers did you have with your old website? And do you know what your numbers are with your new website and why you revamped?
Well, my old website, first of all, wasn't even a direct link. It was fightright.blog or something, which that's a big no-no right there. But yeah, I didn't understand the difference in views and visits. So I might get, 2,000 views in a month. Boom, switch it over. And it immediately went to 6, more than 6. Like I was getting 2,000 a week. And then it just went up and just went up and just went up. And then I had, a post that just kind of went viral. So for me, yes, it was huge. And I'm not sure what the magic sauce is for that, but it really helped people find me in search engines. So that was a huge deal. Yeah. Oh gosh. I mean, I'm not good at math, but I go from, 2,000 a month to 2,000 a week. That's a big deal. I'm thankful for that.
Yeah.
That is fabulous. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for the award.
Oh, you're welcome. And I think, as you can see, our silver and our gold outstanding web presence people really deserved it. And I really encourage you to go to Cynthia L Simmons' website, which is clsimmons.com. And I encourage you go to Carla Hoch's website, which is fightright.net. Right is spelled W-R-I-T-E. And you will learn a lot from how these ladies have set up their websites. And I can't wait for you to get your awards in the mail and to start getting the bookings that CAN is going to get for you. So if we didn't tell you about it before, because all of these finalists will be put on not just press releases, but they will be put on media request releases. And so we will be sending media requests out to get them interviews on podcasts, radio shows, TV shows, newspapers, other blogs, websites of standing. And so I think that will help them not only continue their message and grow, but it will help CAN to grow because they'll see these amazing people that have entered and won these contests. And what we have found from our media requests are that not only do they take the gold and the silver and the bronze winners, but they often request the finalists because they like the topic or the book as well. And they see that if they've made it to becoming a finalist, that they have something to offer. And so these media places do tend to take a few of those now and again. And it's not just one time during the month of November. What you're going to find out is that these interviews and things are spread out through the year. So it will continue to lift you up. So can we have another drum roll for the next category? All right.
And the winner is?
Woohoo! Outstanding Visual Media Campaign. I want you all to know this one was huge. There were so many people entered in this one as compared to the others. It was just stunning. So we obviously see that this is a fan favorite. But because the scores were so tight in this one, and I can tell you, having been coordinating it, that the campaigns were really great. But we have a special one in this one, which is called the Finalist with Distinction. And the Finalist with Distinction was so close that it was just painful to not give this campaign an award. It was painful. So we're going to announce the Finalist with Distinction. And her name is Janice Thompson. And her book, Just Roll With It. And Janice, you got this Finalist with Distinction. Would you go ahead and unmute yourself? Because we need you to give us a chat for 2 to 3 minutes. You did something that all of the judges that saw your campaign thought was unique. And it was not just that you created a Facebook group to launch this in, but that you created a special addition to your book. So would you go ahead and tell us a little bit about your book and that special thing that you did?
Sure. So the book is baking themed devotionals, and it is Just Roll With It. And I don't know if you guys know, many of you know me and follow me on Facebook, but I'm a baker and I do hand painted cookies and I do specialty cakes. And I've had a bakery for quite a while now. And I'm always posting pictures on Facebook. So I think my first tip would be know where your readers are. You could try all these different platforms, but for me, it's always just Facebook. I always end up there, and I know how to set up groups on Facebook. And so that's what I did. I just decided, because they knew me already for my baking, I've got a baking themed devotional coming out. I'm going to create a group. It's going to be called Just Roll With It. You're going to come inside my launch party. It lasted for 7 days. And on each day we did something different. And I engaged and involved all of my participants every day. Post pictures of cookies that you've done. We did a whole day of cookies and give recipes for cookies. And we collected all of these. And then one day we did cakes and one day we did pies, and it just went on like this. And I asked for their permission to do something very fun, which was to create a cookbook of our own. So at the end of that week, I put together a PDF cookbook that was the Just Roll With It launch party cookbook, which everyone in that group received a free copy of, obviously, of that book for their participation. But another little tip I was going to say is this: when you're on a specific social media outlet like Facebook, you might not have 1,000 people come to your party. You might just have 100 people come to your party. but I've got my readers group on Facebook, and they're very loyal and they're very kind. And so if I'm doing something, I'm doing a launch party this coming Monday night for a dog themed devotional. It's a potty. It's a come sit stay party. But anyway, devotions for dog moms. But anyway, so what I'm learning is my people love to promote for me. So if I can get even a small group, even if all I had was 50 people at a party, but 30 of them agreed to buy the book, to help me promote the book, what I believe is it's about relationship. So I love building relationship, ongoing with readers. So they don't just come to this party, they'll come to the next one and the one after that and the one after that. So I'm in it for longevity.
That is awesome. Thank you so much, Janice. And like our other finalists, you will be included in the list requesting media interviews and opportunities. So I think they're going to be enjoying your book, and I love seeing your baking pictures on Facebook. So, all right, our next winner is and the winner is bronze goes to Lynn Austin and her team for the book launch of If I Were You. Lynn, and I know that Lynn's team member here, Christine Bierma, is here, and I'm going to let them decide between them who gets to tell us 3 to 4 minutes about this amazing kind of a book launch campaign using a team. Is Lynn still here? Did she get kicked out? I don't see her.
She needs to unmute herself.
Ah.
Okay. Hi, thank you very much. I'm very honored to have won this award. My book is a novel. It's fiction, historical fiction. It takes place in World War II in England, and it's a story about friendship between two women. The thing that was different about this and all my other books is that my launch date changed. For how many books I've written, it is always a certain time of year, and now all of a sudden it was in the spring, and then COVID hit. So we had to get very creative as far as launching a book in a different way at a totally different season. So I am going to turn it over to the mastermind of my team, Christine Bierma, and she can explain to you how we went about it.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thanks for allowing us to be part of this amazing group. Like Lynn said, launch was June 1st, and that was right in like the middle of serious lockdowns and shelter in place orders, and everything that we had planned for the year prior to this needed to be, we need to rethink, retool, like how are we going to do, what are we going to do? And so we decided to go forward with a book launch team, which we had done in the past. We have 125 people on our book launch team. I used 3 metrics to choose those people. You needed to be active on Facebook. You needed to be able to review on Amazon. And this was the first book that we were able to bump up this metric and say you needed to have 500 friends or more on Facebook, because that's where most of our readers are. So they gave us a fantastic and a really strong team. I really truly believe that teams that feel like they are in a community and that they really know the author, they're going to do everything they can to make sure that they promote this book, because they're just as excited to help the author get her work out as well as just tell people about good books. But one of the other interesting parts of launching in the middle of a pandemic is that you don't have bookstores to go to. The bookstores are closing now anyhow, you know, there's just not as many. But Lynn doesn't necessarily love Amazon so much, so, but she does have a wonderful relationship with Baker Bookhouse, which is a local bookstore in Grand Rapids. And so instead of using an Amazon link on all of the graphics that we pushed out with our email and our website and the book launch team, what we did was we pushed a Baker Bookhouse local bookstore website. They offered to give 40% off of the book, and they offered to do free shipping if you pre-ordered the book, which was amazing.
Wow.
But what we found is that it worked. They sold, on the first day that we pushed it through Facebook and through the book launch team, they sold 200 copies in one day. And those copies were from all over, not only just the country, but all over the world. So we knew that it was what we were doing. It wasn't just local sales. We knew that it was what we were doing. And that to me has just opened up a ton of different possibilities. I love meeting local bookstore owners and talking to them about how they can connect with their readers. And I truly believe that authors need to start investigating this, start looking at how you can partner with your local bookstore owner and use those active links, see if they will become your partner. And I think that there is something revolutionary about this idea, and that we don't have to always depend on Amazon. We know it's going to be there. People will buy their books through Amazon, right? But what if we could help the local bookstores stay open? Wouldn't that be exciting? We did an online launch party. I'm going to wrap this up real fast. We did an online launch party with the bookstore too. I'm never a big fan of online launch parties. I like to be in person, but that wasn't available. We had 567 people pre-register from all over the country and all over the world for this party. And we had 500 people attend on online. I know, it was amazing. An online party. And I was blown away because I did not think that that was going to work. I really was not that excited about it, but we had no other choice. And so I guess what we learned in the middle of this pandemic is people still love to read and they still love to connect. And together we have an amazing and a powerful book loving, book reading community. And we can change the world if we just think about how to connect together. So thank you so much. This is just, it's thrilling to be here with you tonight.
Thank you. And I have to say that you're right at the heart of CAN. The Christian Authors Network is very much about connecting with the local and the independent bookstores. And in fact, Aaron Zook, one of our board members, is in process of connecting us to an independent bookstore in Australia. And Karen Whiting and I and some of our other authors have already connected with bookstores here through MTL Magazine and months. And we have another store called Stepping Stones that we are creating video ads for that will be coming out this week. So I am totally on board with the fact that you support our local bookstores. And amazing, ladies, amazing job. And you heard the numbers, didn't you, folks? So you're starting to get a clue that these folks are really doing an amazing job as they are winning awards. And so let me tell you, we have a silver tie right now. So coming up, we have a silver tie, and I'm going to announce them each individually in order for them to have their 3 to 4 minute talk. And the winner is? Good. All right. Lane Craft for her book, Enjoy Today, Own Tomorrow. Please give us 3 to 4 minutes, Lane, about your book and mostly about your campaign. We are here to learn from you.
Wow, this is awesome. I really didn't expect this. Thank you so much, CAN Awards. This is awesome. I first just want to thank God for giving me the message, because I think it was a really timely message about everyone gets hurt, but he heals us. He's still healing today. So what was special about this too, my cover, I don't know if you're familiar with my cover.
Please.
And I know you probably can't see it, but the special part about that was when we were getting the marketing strategy together, my daughter had painted an angel, and we took the brushstroke of her angel painting and made the cover of this book. and it made it very unusual. So that was really, we just felt like that was a touch of God on the project. And what I felt made this the most amazing launch. I mean, this was my first traditionally published book, and I want to thank Ironstream Media and Ascender Books, but we reached #1 in 12 categories in the first 3 weeks of this book releasing. Wow. And the first 2 days of it releasing, it reached multiple #1s. And I feel very strongly it was the marketing, the visuals, the consistency of the brand. I too had a launch team, and that went 8 weeks before the release, and we used all kinds of branding means that had same coloring, and we did it all over all social media. And I did a Facebook Live every Thursday night, Sunday and Thursday night up until summer, and just literally just punched it out. It just was consistent every week, every day, something with Enjoy Today, Own Tomorrow. And the whole scheme of the thing was no one gets through life without hurts. And it's a 3R process to find healing. So again, this is an honor. I'm so excited. And if you've got any specific questions, since I'm new to this, I'll be glad to answer them.
Well, we're going to get you involved in some interviews and get a lot of specific questions asked of you. But I would like to point out something. Did you say, was most of your marketing on Facebook, or did you use other outlets?
So I basically did all of them. I did the lives on Facebook, but I used Twitter, I used Instagram, and so I used all that I could with these specific brand memes and such.
So she was doing across the board, but I heard out of these last 3 speakers, Facebook. And I'm wondering if that has to do with genre. And I think it may.
Yes, and Facebook was strong for me. For instance, I had to also, because of COVID, do my book release on Facebook. We had something like 1,400 at the release party.
Holy cow. Wow.
Yeah.
So you see, we went from 500 release party to 1,400 for a silver.
Or
That has
more.
got to be incredible. And you see how these things step up by crossing the different social medias and by really preparing with your team in advance so that you get ready to release in advance. Thank you so much, Lane. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
You ready for the next silver, the tie winner?
And the winner is
Andrew Huff in his book, Across to Kill. Congratulations, Andrew. Would you give us 3 to 4 minutes on your book and your marketing campaign and what you did? I personally found it quite fascinating, but we want to hear it from you.
Thank you very much. First off, obviously, congrats to everybody. This is so awesome, not just for all of you who are finalists and winners, but hearing from you. And it's just been really great to kind of hear that. And thanks to CAN for putting this together. So my book is a fiction book. It's called Across to Kill, and it's a suspense thriller about a former CIA assassin who gives his life to Christ and goes into evangelical ministry only to have his past catch up to him. And so this was my debut novel. So I had quite the challenge with getting my book out there, given that I'm a new novelist. And so that was one of the big goals that I had with the marketing campaign that I started to put together. Obviously, I wanted people to know about the book. I wanted to talk about the story and talk about kind of focus on people who like the genre. But it really was just introducing them to me as an author. And so that's what I focused on, used a lot of video, a lot of the things that I used that got the most engagement or drew people in were me talking about the book, showing off the book cover, giving updates on the progress going towards publication. And so that was what I, for authors, sometimes we don't like to be in front of camera. We don't like to be in front of people. We like to be more behind the keyboard, writing the stories. but it really is as much selling yourself as an author and as someone that can connect with readers as much as it is the story. And so that's one of the first things that I definitely would recommend, or at least encourage authors to do, is think about how you're presenting yourself and think about how you're engaging as a person with your readers. The other thing is that I wanted to, as I talked about myself or talked about the book, I wanted to adapt the maybe one post across all my social media platforms. And so that was kind of an efficient way to approach it. And so if I had maybe a post I wanted to create counting down the days to release, I made sure to create that post in a way that it would hit across all platforms and kind of maximize it on each of those platforms, but then release all of them at the same time to kind of get the reach. And then the other thing, a couple other things I did was the biggie for me as a new author was look at other authors, look at other ways that other people are marketing their books, look at how publishing houses might do something, because I knew that for me, other people have figured some of this out. And so to be able to go and glean from that and learn from that was really important. And so the last thing I would say is I also learned that it is worth it, and I think somebody else mentioned this, to ask other people for help. And so if someone else can do way better than you at something, asking for them to be involved, asking for them to help you, people are so encouraging and supportive in doing that. And so that's what I wanted to do, especially as a debut author, is lean on other people who had been through it, or perhaps, you know, had a skill that maybe I didn't have to contribute to the marketing of the book. So anyway, thank you so much again. Congrats to everyone. And yeah, thank you for this honor. And it's very humbling.
Thank you. Andrew, are you a traditionally published or self-published author?
I am a traditionally published author. My book, my debut came out through Kriegel Publications, and Kriegel also released the second novel in the series of this book in May of this year, which was weird because of COVID, as everybody has said. And then my next one will come out next year.
Oh, so you'll have 3 out.
I will have 3 out, yes.
Now you can join CAN because you have 2 out.
Yes, that's right. Yes, that's right.
And your entry fee next year will be half.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you so much.
Well, congratulations. We're so glad you joined us. And I found it interesting also the amount of genres that we had here. We have everything from how-to women's fiction to, you said yours was thriller?
Yes, suspense thriller, yeah.
Suspense thriller. We have baking themed devotionals. We have genres all over the place. So what I'm telling you out there, wonderful authors, is that it doesn't matter what genre your book is. It matters that you learn to market your book. And look at all of these amazing stories you're hearing. Well, we have one more gold medal to hand out. And I'm going to share with you who these people are in a moment, but I want you to be aware that we had 11 judges judging this contest, and these judges worked hard because every single one of these entries didn't just take 5, 10, 15 minutes. Each one of these entries took anywhere from an hour to 4 hours or more. And the reason was they had to check every link that was sent. They had to read their campaign overview, and they had to literally go look and see websites and watch videos. So it was an intense competition. And I want you to know that we are so appreciative and grateful to all of our judges. And there'll be a little thank you note in the card to you with a little gift from CAN. So we want to thank you, judges, for being a part of the Christian Authors Network CAN Crown Awards, because without you, this would not be possible. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Can we have a hoorah for our judges?
Yay.
Yay. All right. And obviously we're on Zoom and everybody's muted, but you can see the clapping, and we're really proud of our judges. So thank you. Many of them, we chose to keep them anonymous because that allowed them the freedom to speak to everyone in the way they needed to be heard. Because as we know, It's much better for us to learn and grow when we're told the truth than when we are worried about what someone's going to think of us. So by keeping our judges anonymous, they are people that are all in the industry. You had the opportunity to hear from the wisdom without hearing, without looking at something around the edges and not wanting to take their advice. So now the final winning gold medal.
And the winner is?
This one goes to Michelle Medlock Adams, Do You Feel Better Now? And Bethany Jett for their book, They Call Me Mom. Now, Michelle is feeling ill, but we think this might give her some endorphins to feel better when she sees the trophy coming her way. And we're going to ask Bethany Jett to speak for her. And these trophies, there's one that has, same as the certificate, has Michelle's name first. And then there's one that has Bethany's name first. We believe that when you win as a team, you each have put in the effort and you each have the right to display a trophy. So CAN always provides for the writing team to receive a trophy. So congratulations. And Bethany, are you unmuted and ready to tell us about your campaign for They Call Me Mom?
Oh, thank you so much. I was so surprised. Okay, so here's our book cover. It has looks like a chalk in the word mom. So for the visuals for this, we really wanted to tie into that chalkboard kind of feel. So most of our graphics have that as the background, especially with two of us having our own brand styles. Michelle's known for her leopard and I have different colors. And the goal was, how do we come together on this book in particular so people can kind of recognize anything that we're doing about it. So the flowers, the pink, and then the chalkboard was part of something we try to keep cohesive throughout. Oh my gosh. So some things we did for this one, we did a lot of video. Again, we did a summit where we were interviewing moms and kept that going in one of the Facebook groups that we did. Had a launch team with that. But we really wanted to dive into email marketing, which was a big part of our campaign as well, and also engage that Facebook group that we had. So the devotion is 52 devotions to encourage moms, and our whole tagline is real, raw, resourceful, not fluffy. Every devotion has takeaway tips that are really super great, we think. And so we created a 52-week email campaign that goes along with it that also has a visual for each one of the takeaways that could be put into the Facebook group. So that way, when someone clicks on the link that they get in their email, they can go straight to the group, that post in Facebook and continue the conversation there. So over time, we hope to see this really build into some great conversations. Another thing we did was we utilized Pinterest. One of the first chapters talks about creating vision boards with your kids as a takeaway and some tips to do that. So we started compiling different vision board pins from other people, and over time that's growing to 100. It'll grow bigger, but that resource then becomes more valuable to the moms who click on it because they'll have more and more access to these kinds of things. And so connecting the email to getting them to click to Facebook, getting them to click to Pinterest, and then kind of keeping a cohesive brand was sort of important in this one versus the other book. I don't know, we did a lot of podcasts and interviews as well. And I don't know, we're so excited. This was an honor. Thank you so much. I know if Michelle was here, she would be saying the same exact thing. Mom Bingo, I think, was the last thing. We wanted to have something where they could how could they identify themselves as a mom with different categories? And so we just put up a grid of 9 and how many of these do you see yourself as? How many of these hats do you wear as a mom? So that's one we're probably going to continue to do because COVID hit right pretty soon after we started that one. So we'll work on that more. But anyway, thank you very much.
Thank you. And Michelle, congratulations.
You mentioned you use email a lot, and I know you have an email newsletter list. So how did you grow that, and how big did it get for you?
We like to use JV partners or joint venture partners in this as well, people who would be able to help funnel people into our list by sharing it with theirs. I think by the end of it, we had grown, I think combined, because we were merging lists for this specifically. I think we're at 13 or 14,000 total.
That's a great list. And I want to share, Michelle posted something. She's not talking very well right now. So she says, oh my gosh, exclamation point. We are so excited. Thank you, Can. And we love you guys and so appreciate this group. Congrats to all of the winners. Love you all. And yes, this made me feel a bit better. So we are just really, really glad that everybody got to join us. Because of the length of this recording, it's going to take a little bit to spool. And once it's done spooling, we will post it up on Facebook so all your friends and family will be able to watch you win and watch you speak, but also so that other authors can learn from you. We will also, once it's done spooling, over the next day or two, we're going to get it up on YouTube, and you will be able to use these links to share anywhere you want to. And we hope that you will join us again for our contest next year. And we may, I want all of our finalists to know, finalists and winners, that we will be contacting you in the next week or two to start you out on your first interviews and special features. And then if you are willing, we will do a CAN TV interview with you and be able to share that so that you can share a little bit more specifically about your campaigns for other people. So CAN TV goes up to our YouTube channel, which is just really getting going. But we see a bright future for those kinds of things, as well as sharing you out to the bookstores and the world around us. So thank you so much for being a part of us. I'm just dying to get these in the mail to you so you can get them up and share them. And we hope that you'll take pictures with your certificates and your trophies so that we can see those all over social media with your books too. Thank you.